Thank you. Just a brief recognition. I'm told that we've been joined by David Kramer, the Assistant Secretary of State for Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor. David, would you thank you for joining us tonight, David Kramer. I've already introduced, along with Frank Wolf, Chris Smith. Let me just reiterate what a tremendous personal pleasure it is to introduce someone that I started out with here in Washington, 28-some years ago, and another person who in his entire time in Congress has never lost sight of his principles or his commitment. To present the next award for human rights is Congressman Chris Smith.
First of all, it's a privilege to join my good friend and colleague Vin Weber and to see former Majority Leader Richard Gephardt here today, and so many of my colleagues, Carl, Secretary Dobriansky, Secretary Kramer, Frank Wolf, who was as Vin said, one of the great leaders of human rights of our time, and I do appreciate your leadership, Frank. It's extraordinary. But it falls to me to make an award presentation tonight. And let me just say at the outset that for over 2 years, one recipient of NED's Democracy Award for Human Rights and the Rule of Law has been sitting in a jail cell in China, and the other has been working to free him. Chen Guangcheng, a self-taught lawyer, is a leader in civil society in China, standing up to the corrupt processes and officials and using Chinese law to hold wrongdoers accountable for their actions. Through this process, he is also educating his fellow citizens about their own human rights under Chinese law, alleged rights, so that they can better advocate and protect themselves from abuses by the state. By now, I think most people understand that since 1979, China has imposed a draconian one-child-per-couple policy on its people, with a heavy reliance on coerced abortion and forced sterilization. The impact has been horrific. China today has more suicides among the female population than any other country in the world. We have missing girls, up to 100 million missing girls, directly attributable to the coercive one-child-per-couple policy. And as we all know, forced abortion was construed to be a crime against humanity at the Nazi War Crime Tribunal at Nuremberg. It is no less a crime against humanity in China today. The class action lawsuit, which Chen heroically filed against the government on behalf of thousands of women who were forced to have abortions and sterilizations in Shandong province, whose relatives were arrested and tortured, resulted in his imprisonment since March of 2006. This man is extraordinarily brave, and his lawsuit extraordinarily necessary. Blind since childhood, Chen has been subjected to unwarranted house arrest, imprisonment, beatings by government thugs, a sham trial on the eve of which all three of his lawyers were arrested, and actions were taken against his family and their families as well. He remains in jail today, the personification of courage, tenacity, and goodness, and an example of the dire condition of the rule of law and the gross mistreatment of women and of the family and of children. Chen Guangcheng shares this award tonight with lawyer and fellow human rights activist Teng Biao, who remains in China this evening. Teng has been a leader in religious freedom cases and human rights cases, including the case of Chen Guangcheng. Teng, with his friend Hu Jia, published an open letter in September of 2007 criticizing the Chinese government for failing to live up to its promises that they made to get the Olympic Games. Hu was subsequently sentenced to jail for 3 years, and Teng Biao has been harassed and even detained in March of this year. After offering to represent Tibetans allegedly involved in the protests this spring, his law license was denied. Together, these two individuals who have fought for the rule of law, who have fought for the rights of women and children, in an attempt to better the lives of everyone, for their outstanding commitment to human rights and the rule of law, it is my honor to present the 2008 Democracy Award to Chen Guangcheng and Teng Biao, and the award will be accepted on their behalf by fellow lawyer Li Guang. Li?
the following address written by Dr. Teng Biao. Reflections on receiving the award. The National Endowment for Democracy has, in the past, given this Democracy Award to Mr. Javier, and it is not a coincidence that his philosophy and actions have inspired countless rights and defenders and intellectuals in China. The fates of people are interconnected. The violation of freedom and dignity to one individual is a violation to all. Freedom and democracy is a profession of all men, all humankind. Yet, this reasoning is being called an empty fantasy, and gradually abandoned or mocked. The stories of persecution against the people who have faced these challenges are unknown to the outside world, and many among them cannot understand the choice to struggle for freedom. Life must continue for those people living under authoritarian regimes, whether they are given praise or not. Where I'm from, even to protect the basic dignities, to obey the call of conscience inside one's heart, requires tremendous effort and sacrifice. For example, in March of this year, when I was abducted by secret policemen, they covered my head, stuffed me into a car, brought me to a secret interrogation room, took out the already printed version of my articles, and threatened, just based on these articles, we can imprison you for 5 or 10 years. They confiscated my passport, concealed my lawyer's license, and again told me to keep my mouth shut. In several prisons in Guangzhou, Jiangxi, Hebei, and Guangdong province, I have had conversations with several prisoners wrongfully sentenced to death because of confessions extracted through torture. They all believe that one day they will be proven innocent and given freedom. I too have hope and believe that great freedom will come to China one day, but not because time will bring change. Rather, it will be ended by the hard work of citizens. My thanks to the National Endowment for Democracy. You stand on the side of democracy and people, not out of a cost-benefit analysis, but cut off a commitment to share a common responsibility toward humanity, where the fight for freedom itself enriches our spirit and makes us happy because of the existence of NED and other international supporters, voices that firmly guard universal values. Those alienated, forgotten, and imprisoned people shall feel some joy and comfort. I know that if Chen Guangcheng could communicate from his prison cell, he would join me in thank all of you for standing with us in our struggle. Thank you. Teng Biao, June 4, 2008 year.